Welcome back, everyone. I'm Setharoth. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day in Whiterun. Today we're going to be diving into a spell mod. Yes, you knew I was going to eventually circle back to magic mods, because that's just my heart and soul. So, you guys remember I did a deep dive back for someone named Phenderix, and he brought in his own little subcontinent, and a whole ton of spells and quests, and he showed up on my feed a while back suggesting that he was working on a new magic mod, and I thought, oh, that'll be nice, another batch of spells, that could be cool. No. What he put together, breaks my brain. It still breaks my brain, but I'm gonna go over it anyway, because it's breathtaking and deserves to be in an entire playthrough. Alright, so the mod is called Phenderix Elements. This is the menu for Phenderix Elements. You have a number of options: perks, build lists, progression. The most important part, though, is called Unlock Element. This allows you a selection of different types of spells. Remember, when I was doing my deep dive into Phenderix, all the spells have their own school that is broken down beyond just destruction. You've got earth, frost, lightning, poison, water. Each of them have unique effects and actually unique interactions between, like, earth and poison, for example. Now, once you activate one of these bad boys, you can then unlock a spell in said bad boy. So, in a regular modder would just say, okay, that will allow you to use the Phenderix Elements menu to learn Phenderix spells, right? Because it's a mod about Phenderix magic. Now, I've unlocked two types of elements so far, Divine and Fire. We're going to go ahead and open up Fire, just to show you guys. No, we'll open up Divine, because that's my specialty. Let me check my... They're actually based on your character's core skills. So obviously Fire is based in Destruction. You know what? We're going to just pump my Restoration skill for the sake of this demo. One sec. Alright, not trying to break the bank. Hopefully 64 is enough. I have an Experience mod running right now, so my skill can't actually go higher than that yet, because I'm only level 19. But this is where things will get fun. So we're gonna just bring up that menu again. Now, I've already unlocked the Divine type of magic, so the next step is to go to Unlock Spell. And we're going to go Divine, and here we go. So what it just did, first off, by actually using these spells, you gain points, and then you can spend those points to learn new spells. Now, some of these you might notice are vanilla, some of them are not. So what he's done under Phenderix Elements is he's taken Phenderix spells, regular spells, and spells from nearly a dozen popular mods in Skyrim and combined them all into one mod. So you can now learn these by just using the spells enough to gain points in them and then unlocking them at a click. You guys remember all of the time it took under spell research to make your own tomes, to experiment with spells, to gain experience in every archetype? Yeah, none of that applies here. It boggles my frickin' brain, because a lot of this doesn't actually come from Phenderix. A lot of these spells will come from other spell mods that are also breathtaking and now are fully integrated through Phenderix Elements. It's insane. I don't know how he did this. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just unlocking a type of magic, and then you can now learn those magical spells naturally as you play the game, right? As you gain points in that particular school of magic. But the reason why you want to unlock a certain school of magic is because you now have a power called Element Divine. Now, what that does is you hit your power button, and boom, now you notice I'm burning magicka. This is costing me magicka, 1% of my magicka every second to keep this thing up. However, while this thing is up, some beautiful things are happening. First off, I'm healing at an increased rate. I get extra health. And also, when this effect is activated, your divine spells, first off, you get spells. So no matter which school of magic of Phenderix I have unlocked, I will always have a beam type spell, a blast type spell, and a bolt type spell. So first off, now these will scale based on my skill level, right? The magicka cost is based on my skill level. So now I have, in whatever school of magic I'm doing, regardless of whatever spell mod I'm doing, I will always have a beam type, a blast type, and a bolt type. So I will show you the beam. Oh no, that's the bolt. So that's your standard bolt type. Then you'll have a beam type. And then you will have a blast type. Oh, that always takes a little bit longer to load. Yeah, so that's going to be for every school of magic that you can unlock with Phenderix mods. And by the way, these don't do anything unless you activate your element, right? So when I activate elemental fire, I immediately have the fire equivalent of beam, for example, or blast or bolt. They are automatically applied to whichever version of whichever element you've selected, and it incorporates almost a dozen other mods. Obviously you have to have them installed. You don't have to install all of them. Phenderix will just scan your load order and see like, oh, you have Apocalypse, I can work with that. And then any Apocalypse spells that are part of whatever school you're focusing on at the time are then added into Phenderix as a possibility for you to unlock later. So it boggles my frickin' brain, because look, just look at look at how much you can do with this. You've got the two elements. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I do not have enough points left to unlock a new element because I need to level up a bit before I can do that. That's interesting. Okay, so it actually keeps track of your level, your player level, and the number of skill points you've unlocked in Phenderix before it lets you level up and add in new types of elements. That is very immersive. So it kind of has a system built in so that you can't just jump in and learn everything and be a god. But then you can still unlock spells in all of these. Now the reason this is so low is because I have very little. My destruction skill is like 8 on this character. This was meant as more of like a white mage type character, which is why her restoration is so much higher. And that's why when she goes to the Phenderix Elements menu and tries to unlock divine spells, she has so many options that it literally takes 5 seconds to load the menu. Alright, I don't usually use the actual mod page because you guys are free to go look at that on your own time, but Phenderix Elements is so big I figured why not. So Phenderix Elements, these are all the different forms and all the different buffs that you get when you activate that form and then cast those types of spells. Now you also have automatic spells that are created when you activate each of these forms, Bolt, Blast, and Beam. Now, I just wanted to show you guys, just so you know, these are all the spell mods that are designed to work with Phenderix Elements automatically. You just have to install it. Install Phenderix Elements, install the spell mod, it'll scan it, know it's there, and the next time you try to learn spells within that particular mod, it'll automatically generate it. So if I'm using the form Blood Magic, and I have Hemomancy installed, it'll automatically feed me the option of learning Hemomancy spells as I level up in Blood Magic. Like that, there's your 12 right there. I mean, I've used Odin. You've got Phenderix. There's Apocalypse, Arcanum. It's just breathtaking, and I love it so much. And if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of a build, you can actually go down to the spoiler section, and he's already done the math. Like, he shows you exactly which spells will come from each mod type. And keep in mind, if there are some mods you don't like in this mix, you don't have to use them all. If some of them aren't there, it just won't use them. So yeah, it's fantastic. Alright, let's take this out for a bit of a test drive and see what this looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is activate our Elemental Divine. And then which spells do I currently have active? We have Scorching Ring, which is another Phenderix spell, and then Fast Healing. So let's go into first person mode. Time to die. Activate our Divine Magic. That's our healing. Oh, come on now. Make sure that we've got our Element Divine should start up. We should be losing Magicka. Okay, there we go. So we are now losing Magicka. As we are losing Magicka, we're gaining health. This is specifically for, see how fast I'm regenerating? This is because I've activated my divine magic. And this bonus is exclusively for divine magic. We're going to go ahead and just try beams, because the beams look cool. Woo! Pretty! That is cool. So for a white mage playthrough, the beams just look fantastic. And you also have blast and bolt options. I switched away from the divine scorching ring because it takes a while to... There we go. Yeah, it just takes a while to load, and it's only melee range. Ironically, the automatic spells that you get from it are just cool, and I like them a lot. You saw that regeneration that you get when you have activated the divine element is the primary bonus that you will use in combat. And then you turn it off, and then you regenerate all your magicka. So that's how it will work in combat. You will activate... Oh, please don't talk to me. Okay. You will activate that element, whatever it looks like, and then you will get a specific buff. So for divine, it's enhanced health regeneration. On top of that, when your divine spells do damage, they heal you more. So you can create a character that it's kind of like the opposite of a vampiric build, where you're taking life from the enemy. Instead, you're just like gaining life as you use magic, which is pretty cool. Obviously, you have, if we use the element of fire, it increases fire damage, I think, by 15, maybe 20%, and then it also makes fire spells cheaper, so you can do more damage and use them longer. It doesn't function as a cloak spell, though. This won't actually hurt anyone nearby. It just looks cool. But it does make all of your fire spells more powerful. So, more power to you. We'll turn that off. So, alright. So, that is it for the Phenderix School of Magic. Let me see. I can try to get back into the Phenderix menu just to give you an idea. You know what? I'm just going to reload my previous save, because I want to go back into that Phenderix menu just to give you an idea of what the perks, what the core buff you get for each of the elements that you can select. I might not be able to remember them all, but I went through them in quite a bit of detail earlier because they're awesome. Okay, so if you have your Phenderix elements, and we pop open unlock element, so keep in mind, each of these will automatically filter through up to a dozen spell mods that you have installed. They're all included on the description page for the mod. You can just go through, check off the ones you already have installed, and those are the spells that will automatically be provided to you as a possibility for learning when you interact with the mod in the way I've demonstrated. Now, blood magic, when you activate the blood aura, that one, not only do you lose 1% of magicka every second, you lose 1% of health every second, which is a pretty steep price to pay. However, all of your spells do 10% more damage. So that's where this kind of explodes in my head, because you're not going to be limited to just one element, right? You could whip out your favorite fire spell while casting blood magic, and now your fire spell does another 10% more damage. Like you can mix and match and come up with your own combos, and that's where this mod just blows my brain out, because there's so much you can do with different builds and perks and darkness is a nasty one, because it is an area of effect cloak spell that just does damage. Like all the enemies within a certain amount of distance will take damage every round. That's it. So it's meant for you to just summon conjurations and then stay close enough to bad guys that they just take damage over time. Earth, I think that one gives you more armor, and you might be harder to stagger. Frost, obviously your frost spells do more damage, and they cost less. Lightning, same thing, more damage, cost less. Poison, if you're rocking a poison element, obviously your poison spells will do more damage, but there's also a chance of a paralytic effect when you hit the enemy. I think it's like a 10% chance, and they have an opportunity to resist it, which is still cool. If you're water, you have a 10% chance for melee attacks to miss, like you're slippery, you're hard to get a hold of, which I think is cool. Wind gives you a 10% increase in movement speed, which makes total sense to me, and obviously these increase the damage of water spells, wind spells. Astral is the only form, the only element that when you channel it, you don't lose 1% of magicka per second. All of these will cost 1% of magicka per second, except Astral. And Astral makes all of your spells do more damage, and it increases your magicka regen. So that might be the first one you get, actually, for a wizard playthrough. But anyway, so that's just to tease you a little bit with what this bad boy can do when you crank things up into full power. And you know what? We can have a look here. What are some of these other things? So this gives you a dictionary about how far you've progressed in all of your different forms. So you can just go here and immediately see, if I've got 1,000 divine points stocked up, then I know it's time to go and research some divine mods. But if I've upgraded to 3 or 4 of these, it's really nice to be able to just look and see the whole list of what's available, rather than being forced to just hit unlock spell and guess and hope that I've unlocked enough. Element perks, what is that? Feature coming in future update. Okay, that's fair. That's cool that he's already got little... Is that what build lists are too? I don't even know what that is. Building spell lists. This may take a moment. What? Done rebuilding spell lists. Oh, okay. So what this is, this means that, let's say you've got 5 of the dozen spells that Phenderix can handle already in your load order. You can install Phenderix, install additional lists, hit build list, and it will update. So this way you can actually check the mod page, see what other spell packs are included in Phenderix elements, add them in, and just hit build list, and it will update. I'm not sure what it does in cheats. Oh, unlock all elements. Oh, that would have been useful to grab before, I started this demonstration. Oh, that's cool. Okay, all elements are now unlocked. Well, that's useful. Add element points. How many element points? I don't know, 1,000? So does that mean I can go into, unlock blood magic? Yep, blood magic is now unlocked. Cool. Yeah, and a bunch of these are not... False Promise, for example, that's from Arcanum. Blood Magic, that's definitely Phenderix. Slay Living, I think that's from Apocalypse. Yeah, all of them are represented here, and the higher my blood magic... I think blood is based on restoration, but I need to unlock more blood points before I can go up to bigger spells. But anyway, so all of this is just breathtaking and fantastic, and I love it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little demonstration of, we're going to take that annoying little headdress off. That's, yeah. Alright, yeah, she's much prettier that way. You know what, let's go get a view. Get a nice view. Nice view of the surrounding area. Can we get up here? Okay, that was weird. I think my computer actually did an update and forced me out of the game, but the game was still running. So that was not actually a crash. That was a problem on my computer's end. Because my computer decided, hey, you need to stop playing, and I decided I do not. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of the Phenderix Elements demo was today, and what part of it you might want to include in your own playthrough. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Take care.